So on Roblox, you may or may not have noticed like a new trend of games popping up lately. I am talking about these games. Stuff like Transfer, Infection, Furious Outbreak, Transformation, Fur Facility, Infection Testing, things like this where the entire game's premise is for you to infect other players with a furry virus. This even got so popular to the point where Albert made his own video on one of these games like around a week ago or so. But there are a lot of problems that players are having with the game simply because of the concept of where the game comes from and the actual context behind the game and where it originates from. I figured I'd just go ahead and explain this so people have a broader understanding as to why people are really uncomfortable with these games. It has nothing to do with the fact that it's just a furry game or anything. Let's just make that very clear, okay? Remember, as always, to like the video so more people are informed about this. I believe this all started originally from Transformation. At least that's the game I remember the most getting popular and getting the most visits. The whole premise of the game is that you just run around a facility and try not to get infected by other players with a furry virus. It's pretty straightforward and direct to the point with the game. Most people would look at this game and be like, okay, whatever, what's the problem with this game then, Koneko? Why do people have an issue with this? Well, the thing is that this is not an original Roblox game concept. It's actually known from a game on Steam called Changed, and this game has existed for quite a while now, and for some reason 2 years later, in after 2018 to 2020, we now have games based off of Changed on Roblox now all of a sudden. I've been watching one of my friends play this game in a screen share and just seeing how the game itself actually is, and Changed as a game isn't exactly inherently bad, at least from what I have seen. However, you have to take into consideration one thing here. Changed has stuff that appeals to people's specific desires. You know, latex, transforming, those are things, I'm not going to get too in detailed, but those are things that people find themselves into in terms of that type of stuff. So with these games popping up on Roblox and the fact and the premise behind the actual game itself having those type of themes and natures makes people extraordinarily uncomfortable with it, and rightfully so. The problem delves itself even further though, because when Flamingo made his video on Transformation, you know, he didn't know anything about the game. He just thought it was a funny furry game where you infect people and whatnot. And to 99% of players, that's generally what it is. People aren't going to think about that type of stuff, and that's fine. The actual developer of Changed noticed these games on Roblox recently, primarily because people were like, you know, spamming the link of Flamingo's video to the developer of Changed, and he noticed that people were not actually crediting the creator at all. His name is known as Dragon Snow. He is the producer and developer of Changed, the actual game on Steam. This resulted in Transformation being taken down temporarily, and as of right now, the game is currently back up. But the developer, I think, made a relatively interesting point, FiddlePat, on his Twitter. FiddlePat made this point on Twitter saying, people are actually mad at me for removing Inspired by Changed from Transformation's description. What else was I supposed to do? Let children discover a suggestive furry game? Well, the thing about this is that you should have taken this into accountability when you produced the game originally on Roblox, where the concept came from. That's just my opinion, honestly. But it leaves off a very interesting question of whether this game should even be referenced on Roblox or not, considering the fact that it does have suggestive natures in the game itself. Considering what I talked about in the beginning of this video, even though it's not inherently obvious, it is there inside of the original game, which is what's making people concerned about it being referenced on Roblox at all. But also, when you don't do this and don't give Popper a credit, it basically screws over the developer of Change, because you're basically taking this concept and not giving any form of a credit whatsoever. So it really is a slippery slope here, depending on who you ask. I would like to know your opinion and comment down below in the comment section, really what you think what the right thing to do here would be. The reason I referenced this in this video is for context purposes, so you fully understand the situation, and because my channel is not for kids. Like, this is a 13+ channel. I expect you to come into here being willing to understand certain type of topics like this. I also do not believe that Dragon Snow actually cares about the game themselves being up on Roblox, but just more or less just wants proper a credit for the game itself, because of the fact that the games themselves are not making any profit to my knowledge. Nothing is being sold inside of these games. They literally are just wanting proper a credit for the fact that their concept was used without any sort of permission or authorization. But now all of a sudden, literally everybody is making their own variants of these type of games for some reason, because this is now a new popular trend without people actually understanding the real concept behind Changed itself and understanding that there is some suggestive themes behind the original game, which to me is a little bit concerning. I really think people should know about that before making a game based off of Changed. That's just me. I don't know. It really depends how you look in this situation. I'm indifferent. I'm just simply telling it as it is and telling people's main concerns about these type of games being promoted on Roblox, because I do believe they are very validated, considering Roblox is a platform that is full of children, and people don't want this type of content promoted inherently from these type of games, even if it's not directly. Also, for the love of God, please do not attack Flamingo for this in this video, because it literally was not his fault. People send him dumb games, and he found a dumb game where you transform into furries, and that was it, you know? That's all it was. He didn't do anything wrong. It was harmless. But I felt like just explaining the fuller concept behind of this, because I've had a lot of people come to me about this lately, and wanting my take on this to explain this properly of people's discomfort with these type of games, and I feel like this gives a broader context and understanding as to why people feel this way. But as always, do let me know how you feel down below in the comment section. Leave a like on this video if you found it enjoyable and or informative, and as always, make sure to subscribe if you're new for daily Roblox content. But I'll hopefully see you guys whatever in tomorrow's Roblox video as usual. Thank you all so much for checking this video out, and I'll hopefully see you soon. I'm Koneko, peace.